Last night, we told you that the Business Roundtable is redefining its statement of the purpose of a corporation to better reflect decisions based on stakeholder values and not solely on shareholder values. Last night's guest thought that move was a bad idea. Joining us to show an opposing view of that is Martin Whittaker. He is the CEO of the nonprofit research firm Just Capital. Welcome. Nice to have you here, Martin.
Thank you, Sue. Thanks for having me on.
Our guest last night made the point that he thought it was a bad decision. He said it had been put in place before and it didn't work. And because shareholders are basically giving their money to the corporation, they should be put first. What's wrong with that argument?
Well, for one thing, it's not really the case that looking after your workers or treating your customers well or making great products or investing in the communities where you operate is antithetical to serving your shareholders well. It's not an either-or game. What we found is that businesses that actually look after their stakeholders do better in the market. Mm-hmm. So we think it's a great move. We applaud what Business Roundtable has done. This is a historic moment, we think, and it also aligns with how the American people want companies to behave. We've surveyed thousands of people over the last 5 years, all across America, all different backgrounds, and this is exactly what they tell us.
This guest from last night that we're referring to is Charles Elson. He runs the Weinberg Center for Corporate Governance at the University of Delaware, and his point was, look, when you're trying to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. Here's what he said. Listen.
If the watch stops, it still gets the time right twice a day. If you've got multiple constituencies you answer to, you're going to get it right for somebody, but that doesn't mean a healthy business. And for shareholders, being deep-sixed like this, particularly given the fact that today, everyone's a shareholder through their retirement plans, state pension plans, and whatnot. It really will harm, I think, accountability of management to the shareholders and the public.
Essentially, maybe the company loses focus when they get away from the idea that it's all about profitability. What do you think?
I think he's completely wrong. You only got to talk to leading CEOs today to understand that the way to build a healthy company is to look after all of your stakeholders. Shareholders will win in the end. Our own research and our own data and our own funds show that. Unfortunately, I think this is a view that I think, reflects history, not the future.
Also, there are those who are making the point that income inequality has partly been a product of companies putting the bottom line before other things. I would assume you would agree with that.
Absolutely. When you look at the income inequality in this country, when you look at how we need businesses working for more Americans, we need to get the American dream back. We need life breathed into it. Jamie Dimon, the chairman of the Business Roundtable, said the American dream is fraying, but it's alive. Our own work shows that people just want a fair shake. And I think if they think the business is working for them, not against them, they think that people are going to be, sharing fairly in a company's profits. That's going to make them better employees. They're going to serve their customers better. And guess what? Management, shareholders, they're going to win. Now, it's not easy to do, but we see companies doing that all the time. That's what we do for a living at Just Capital. We track that. And the time has come, we think, to really, put that center stage. And now the next stage is, okay, let's track companies and see how they're actually doing on implementing this new stakeholder model.
Mr. Whittaker, thanks so much for spending time with us.
My pleasure.
Martin Whittaker with Just Capital.